Anyone ever hit a deer before when you're driving? Yeah? It sucks, doesn't it? It's not fun. You have to pay your deductible and you killed an animal. It's terrible, unless you eat it afterwards. I guess that's cool. No, but here's the thing. I've never seen a dead deer in the middle of the road. They're always on the side of the road, right? So either as we're driving, we're seeing deer on the side of the road and we're swerving to hit them, or we're hitting them in the middle of the road and they're crawling to the side before they die. Deer are getting hit. They're like, oh no, I'm not gonna survive this one. Gotta make sure I get to the side of the road out of the way of all these cars. A strategy I should have adopted during life, but didn't. Gotta make sure I leave some of my intestines though, so no one forgets me. They always leave some in the middle of the road. What are they doing? Like, gotta pour some out for my homies. What's the logic? I don't hunt. I'm not a hunter, you guys. I don't hunt. But here's the thing I've always wondered. When you're hunting an animal, if it sees you coming, or smells you coming, or senses you coming, it'll run away. So why don't hunters just sneak up on deer in their car going 70 miles per hour? They would never see it coming.
Should kill all the deer. Deer are idiots. What other animal just runs into a car? Seriously. They're not even hiding. They're just standing right there. Your headlights hit their little eyes and you're like, don't do it. Don't you do it. And then they do it and you're like, what went through your pea-brain mind? That thing's going fast. I'm going to headbutt it. And here's the thing. Deer haven't just shown up. They've been around for generations. You would think at some point, while they're sitting around the fire, the elder deer would be like, you know what? We should stick away from that road, stone road. Every time I go up there, somebody explodes. But no, the next day they're back up there like they're adrenaline junkies trying to beat the trucks. It's a traumatic thing, hitting a deer with your car, I'm sure a lot of people in here have hit a deer or been in a car that hit a deer. I'll tell you my story. I was in Montana, circa 2003. Cell phone coverage was not the best. I was out of service for about an hour and a half. I'm seeing deer everywhere, but they're staying away from the road. I come around the corner, boom, giant deer right in the middle of the road, and I was like, ah! I swerve the car. I just miss him. He takes the mirror off the side of my car, but that was it. And I was like, oh, that was so close. Breathing comes back to normal, blood pressure comes down. I was like, that almost was really bad. And then I look up and plow into 2 more deer. I was like, ah! Car destroyed. 2 hours till somebody comes by. I'm just on the side of the road with these 2 corpses going, what? Why? Don't you have families? After that, things changed. Apparently the word got out across the animal kingdom and they decided they didn't want me on the road anymore. I started hitting animals I had never seen before. North of Des Moines, I hit a turkey. A wild turkey. Never seen one before. I'm just driving along. It's really flat, like north of Des Moines, so like I look off into the distance and there's like this little thing fripping along there, And I'm like, I don't know what that is, Keep driving, and I see it's keep coming. Like I start to do the geometry, and I'm like, if it keeps coming that way, it's gonna die. So, and before, like I knew what it was, like right at that last moment, it comes out of the ditch, And I don't know if you've seen a turkey run, but it's like this run, jump, fly thing, And he kind of like arced it like perfectly in front of my car, and I just nailed it like duck hunt. Like feathers everywhere. It just like rolled over the top of my car like a 70s cop movie. And I'm like, what is going on? 3 months after that, I was in Omaha, Nebraska, and I rolled 300,000 miles in my car, which I thought was pretty cool. So I took a picture, put it on Facebook. 9 minutes after that, I hit an armadillo. Never seen an armadillo in my life. And I hit one. And the thing was, he wasn't running over the road like he was headed home. He was headed directly towards my car, like a raccoon paid him to take me out. And I see him coming. I'm like, all right, you want to die? Let's do this. But in my head, I'm like, you're like a rock-like animal. I'll probably just bounce over the top of you and keep going. And that's not what happened. I hit him with my wheel. He skipped like a stone, shot through my wheel well, tore all the fiberglass out as he took the bumper with him as he shot out the side. It was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. I get out of the car fully expecting the entire front end to be gone, you know? Tire, pristine condition. Everything around it, gone. Vital engine parts are just hanging there. The car is still running somehow. Can't call insurance, you know? I opted out of the armadillo coverage, you know? It was my bad, you know? They offered it, you know? Glass armadillo. I'm like, I don't live in Texas, so.
See this, the West Virginia State Legislature passed their roadkill bill, making it easier for the citizens of West Virginia to possess and eat their roadkill. Hey, honey, I'm leaving work. You want me to hit something? What a great DUI defense that is. I pulled you over, swole back there. You been drinking? I was hunting. Good luck.
So I'm a big sports fan, more than anything. I love sports. We got some Cougars fans in the room here. You guys get that? That was the name of my high school, so I'm going to tell myself you're cheering for my high school. We're all happy here. I like Cougars, good name. I don't like it when teams are Tigers, right? Because, hey, we don't have tigers in North America. There's no tigers. If you're going to be named after an animal, it should be indigenous. Really, half the teams in the country should be the deer. Everyone should just be the deer. We got a lot of deer. That'd be a great mascot, too. Halftime in the basketball game, 2 people in a deer costume. They go out to center court. Out of nowhere, a Ford 150 truck. Boom! But here's the inspirational part. The deer get up and run away. They're fine. Right. Yeah. Right. And the truck has $3,000 front-end collision damage, and the deer win by 20.
And the worst at these things, can't hunt. Last year I got a 1-point buck. Would have been an 8-point, but his head hit the bumper real square. Kind of crinkled up my trophy. Now I got a deer over the fireplace. Looks like he's gonna sneeze. The worst. Hunter, you hunter? Yeah. You're a big guy. Got the camouflage. Got the beard. You wouldn't even need a gun. You'd be like, get in the truck.
She was the one that taught me the difference between men and women. She was the one that taught me the difference. It was one moment when we were in Boston, Massachusetts, and we were watching this bird eat his friend in the road. And a car is coming, and we're just sitting here watching this. Car coming, he's eating his friend. Car comes, runs him over, kills him flat on his friend. First word out of her mouth. She's a woman. First word out of my mouth, right? Because I'm a dude. Awesome! Oh, it was badass. Why are you crying? That was hilarious. That was hilarious. He didn't even move. He saw the car coming. He has wings. Why did he not move? He's an idiot. It didn't even crunch. It sounded like someone got hit in the face with a pillow. Like, that's how it sounded. Just feathers. I'm like dancing in it. I think it's snowing. She's like, we gotta help it. I heard my father going, pick it up, put it on the wall, say it's yours.
I hit a deer with my truck not too long ago. Knocked the fender off my truck. The deer got up and he ran away. I got out, I walked around, the fender was gone. I think that son of a gun took it with him. I bet you he's got it hanging on the wall at his house right now.
I wasn't me. Why was I talking about that? Because I don't want to offend anybody, but is it okay to talk about hunting? Like, is it okay? Yeah, okay, I figured. You guys have great hunting up here, and I'm a big hunter. I got a 10-point buck this year. Yeah, and it did not mess my truck up like I thought it was going to. That was some good eating once I scraped it off. But anyway, But
I've been seeing my family a lot more lately. I used to live in Chicago, moved back to my hometown in southern Illinois. It did not take long for weird things to start happening. I was riding along. Christmas Eve. My dad's driving. I've got my 4-year-old son in the back seat. As we ride along on Christmas Eve, out of nowhere, a deer hops out, and bang! Dad nails it. First thing my little boy says, Rudolph! Dad goes, don't worry, buddy, we didn't kill him. I'm pretty sure he died when he fell out of the sky.
For lunch today, I had some street tacos. Yeah, street tacos are like regular tacos that I guess fell in with the wrong crowd. They had the absentee father started running with the chalupas. I don't know what happened to these tacos, but I believe in no taco left behind. These tacos were off a food truck. I love food trucks. I grew up in the country. We never had a food truck. The closest thing we had to a food truck is when the El Camino hit a possum. Get yourself some white bread and you got a ditch witch right there.
Last, like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I was home, and my house backs up, Old Country house backs up to Old Country Road, and there was a deer that got hit and didn't quite make it. My son puts a Santa Claus suit on, goes outside, lays next to the dead deer. My wife said a school bus went by, a bunch of second graders. 7-year-old kids.
It's good to be back here in the West. I live in New York now. I came back here for this and to visit my family often. It's also, there's different challenges being here than in the city. Like, for instance, recently while I was here, I hit a deer with my car. Yeah, but it's not what you guys think, okay? I did it completely on purpose. Now, how that happened was, I was driving, minding my own business, and I'm going down the street, and I looked over, and I saw a dog and a deer in a parking lot together, okay? And I was like, oh, they're friends, like in Disney. But I was wrong. They were not friends, they were enemies, and they were fighting pretty hard, okay? All right, I didn't even know, the deer was hooving the dog. I didn't even know they did that, all right? And the dog hated it, so the dog goes running away from the deer to escape. And the dog comes running across the street, I'm driving down, and the deer comes chasing after the dog, and I had a decision to make. Yeah. Listen, it was an Australian Shepherd, okay? It's crunch time. I hit that deer so hard with my car. I swerved and everything. Listen, I hit that deer like my stepdad was riding it. Do you understand? Yeah. That is what I like, a crowd that is not a fan of my stepfather. Nobody likes you, Joe. I shouldn't use his real name, but whatever. So, by the way, I should not say this, but you guys seem cool, so I'm gonna say it anyway. Feels so good to hit something that big with your car. It was awesome. Yes. Listen, I didn't want to have to do it, but if I'm gonna do it, it might as well be cool. Dude, I don't know. It felt cool to hit something that big. I get what old people are up to in farmers markets. I get it. I'm like, I understand. Now when I'm on the couch and I'm watching the news and they're like, an elderly gentleman ran over 6 people and slammed his car into Best Buy today. I'm just sitting there like, live your best life, Grandpa. Get in there. Yeah. You didn't fight in World War II not to hit someone with your car. Get it. So, listen, I feel some of you in the audience being worried about the deer, and that's fair. but don't be, okay? The deer is fine. I drive a 2001 Saturn. The deer is fine, okay? Yeah. It seems like you guys might know a thing or two about cars. That is not a good car. Yeah. My car is so bad that when I bought it, I parked it on the street, and that night I assumed some kids spray painted the word wow on the side of it. And I did not care, okay? Yeah. So I'm in my 2001 Saturn, the dog runs past, the deer is coming. I slam on the gas. I gave it everything I had. All that happened, okay, was the deer rolled up onto the side of my, hood on his side, rolled back onto his hooves, and then just looked at me like, what was that about, man? And I'm just in my car, awkward, like, I'm trying to kill you! The deer just is like, I don't need this, and it left to go do deer stuff or whatever. So the deer is gone. I'm sitting in my car. I can't believe this just happened, and I realize the dog is nowhere to be found. The dog escaped. Yes, I'm an American hero. Yeah, I deserve this. I know. It's like the troops, then me, then firefighters. I'm feeling very good. This is literally the most on board anyone has ever been for that premise. I used to put myself above the troops even as a joke. People were like, pull it back. You gotta be fine. So, I'm feeling good. I'm in the street. I just hit a deer with my car. I'm a good person. I'm feeling great. I'm jazzed up. I'm like pumped up on adrenaline. I just can't believe that happened. I'm like dancing in my car. I was like, oh, it was crazy. And I look over and I see a family. They're wearing their Sunday best, like a mom and a dad, and they're pushing a baby stroller down the sidewalk. And I was like, oh, they probably saw everything. They definitely want to talk to me. So I do a U-turn. I pull up to them. Have you ever seen a guy pick up a baby stroller to get away from you faster? Yeah. I'm just in my car like, what is this guy's problem? And then I realize, oh no, they have no context for what just happened. They probably didn't even see the dog. They just see some guy in the middle of the city with his face covered in tattoos, driving the world's worst car, just clobber a deer for no reason. Then that guy sits in the street and thinks about it for a while. Spots your family. Does a U-turn, revealing the fact that he has the word wow spray painted on the side of his car, struggles to get his window down because he drives a 2001 Saturn, and then he looks out at your wife and kid and just goes, I'm a hero! He left so fast. He left his wife. He did not care. Hustling.